Crime Show for Rad Industries and Rad Range Production by Carolina Ballistics. I'm your host, Rudy Cartassi, and with me today I have Gerald Wilkie Jr. from HM Tech. How's it going?
Good, man. Glad to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Anytime. We get you on a lot more. So what do you do for a living, Gerald? I know you go back a long way, but kind of give people an idea of what you did prior and what you currently do. And I guess you'd like what we call an OG of the crypto community.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's going to take how much time we got?
We got about 30 minutes to fill some. Start right now.
All right, so we'll give the abridged version. We'll narrow it down a little bit. So, man, I guess it's been back in 2012. I got into Bitcoin mining, and this was before modern Bitcoin mining started with ASICs. So it was with a GPU in my attic in a gaming PC that I had, and it stumbled upon the fact that you could turn electricity into money, which is Bitcoin. And it took a couple of years, but by 2014, decided I was going to quit my regular job, which I was a general manager for Best Buy, and it's going to start Bitcoin mining. It's going to be my new job. This is career path, right? Gonna just take the plunge and do it because I believed in sound money. And I believed in, the fact that, unlimited issuance of currency like we do, like the Fed does today, is, absolutely wrong. And it's not the way, to handle a financial system. So, jumped in with both feet, founded HMT, and met this guy, Rudy.
At
the bar one day.
Right.
And was talking to him about Bitcoin, if you remember this conversation.
I do.
And I was giving you the rundown, and you literally looked at me and was like, bro, I don't do Amway.
Right.
Do you remember that?
I do. All right, I'll do Amway.
Yep. And I was like, no, dumbass.
This is not Amway.
This is not what it is. Like, here's the deal. And broke it down.
I think you said stay at home.
Yeah.
Was what you told me.
Yeah. It was just like sitting at home, but you get paid for it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I was like, sign me up. When I sign up.
Yep. So at the time, if you remember, our goal, we were going to build the largest crypto mining data center in the world.
Yep.
And it was going to be 10 megawatts. And that, at the time, was outrageous. Nobody was doing it on an industrial scale. There was a lot of small miners. Some people had just a few here and there. They might have 10 or 20, but nobody had a huge.
I remember when petahash was insane.
Right. It was an unbelievable amount of hash rate. And so we were going to build 10 meg. And then, the industry started to blow up. Then all the institutional money came in and VC money. And, now if you're not, in today's terms, if you're not talking about 100 megawatts, it's nothing. Like, nobody gives a shit.
Right.
Anything less than that is amateur hour, basically.
Gotcha.
So then, along this path of Bitcoin mining and hosting some for other folks, we decided that, we need to be able to repair these things too, because these servers are pretty complex. And originally the way to get them fixed was you had to, wait till you got a pallet or so, ship them back to Shenzhen, China. And, you're talking about like a month's turn time. Get them shipped. Oh, yeah. And then get them back.
Right.
Then when they got back, maybe they worked, maybe they didn't work. Maybe you didn't get the same machines back. Like, it was a shit experience. And, we were sitting down smoking a cigar, shocker. And I was like, you know what? I was like, we could be really bad. We could suck at fixing these things. It would be better than what we've got to do with right now, yeah? So, took the plunge. We went to, me and E-Man went to Shenzhen, China. Studied with the engineers at the largest factory, which was Bidden at the time. Got certified by them, came back, coordinated with a couple other manufacturers, went back in the fall of that year, October, and just for clarity, from October 2019.
Yeah.
Which was like T-minus 30 days to COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in Shenzhen, and we're studying with a company called MicroBT, getting our certification there. And then we were going to go to another company called Silicon and get a certification from them. Well, this was now we were going on there for several weeks. I think we were now week 3 or 4 of October. Right. So we're T-minus 7 to 10 days before Wuhan gets locked down.
Right.
Right. So we're on the phone with one of the executives from Silicon. Like, hey, why don't you come out here to our corporate office? I know you're down there training. And it's like a 2-hour bullet train ride. I was like, well, that'd be pretty dope. Yeah. I've never done a bullet train. Like, that'd be all right.
Pretty fast.
Right. Yeah. Like 200 some odd miles an hour on a train. I was like, it's crazy. Like, I don't want to do it. Yeah, so we talked to the guys, like, what do you think? Y'all want to ride out there? And then we already had the hotel. We had a train schedule already set up. And we're like, you know what? Let's not do it. And we didn't do it. Well, Inno's corporate office was in Wuhan. So if we would have said yes,
Right.
we would have went to like ground zero and probably gotten locked down in Wuhan.
And been never heard from again.
Right. Because when our return flight, we landed back in Raleigh on, I think, November 3rd.
Yep. I do remember that's when you got back.
Yeah, and it was like, dude, I believe shit's going on.
I know, right?
And, you know, come to find out, like, we were just one decision from being like ground zero. Probably would have got, you know, welded in an apartment somewhere. And, like you said, never heard from again.
Exactly.
But thankfully enough.
So you basically specialize in mining for more corporate or for individuals. I mean, is there, like, so let's say there's a guy who wants to start mining or get into crypto. Can you go to a website that you have, or if he has a mine needs repair?
For repair, yeah. For hosting, you know, we do have, we stay pretty full because we've been, you know, in it for so long. We're actually the oldest continually operating crypto company in the United States. Like, we've been in business longer than anybody else in this industry.
Right.
We've seen so many folks come and go. But, you know, because of that, we've got some very old relationships. So we typically do stay at capacity for hosting. So we don't have any room there, but we do service, you know, all the major brands for repair. So hotech.co, you know, if anybody wants to, if they're interested in Bitcoin mining, they got questions, cool. We, you know, love to chat it up. It's our lifeblood, so we'll talk about it all the time.
Awesome. Yep. Excellent. So let's kind of bring firearms into this too. So I don't know if you heard, the ATF recently apparently got a little trouble last week because there's a guy in, I think it's Arsenal, he's like the director of the airport. They actually shot him in front of his wife in his house at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And he was actually buying and selling guns, apparently without a license. I guess that's a death sentence now. He was saying payments in crypto too. So they kind of threw that in. What is your take on like, you know, crypto as far as like Bitcoin, the ledger is public?
Yes.
So really you can't do anything shady with that. It's all public.
It's the worst possible vehicle for someone to commit crime with because everything's public.
Right.
Every transaction is visible. Every transaction is traceable. You can't get rid of it. It'll always exist. It'll always be right there like a flashlight on you.
Gotcha.
But, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people were talking about, you know, were politics going to be able to influence Bitcoin? You know, was it going to be a Democrat, Republican issue? Was it going to be a libertarian issue? Like, how were politics going to impact Bitcoin? And what we're seeing in this election cycle is not politics impacting Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to shake this election up. Because first it was RFK, it was all Bitcoin. Actually, we can go back farther than that. President Bukele from El Salvador is the GOAT. Right? In El Salvador like 4 times this year. I love it down there. They've got their shit together. Just as an example, right? Because we got crime issues in our country. Right. I'm sure business is good.
Business is great.
Right?
Firearm trails are up.
Because our leadership is a bunch of douchebags.
Right.
But, for example, right? El Salvador was like the gang capital of the world, most unsafe place in the world. Right?
This is true.
Until Bukele cleaned all that shit up, right?
How was that since you've been down there?
There was 0 crime.
Oh, really?
When, you know, so there's a lot of small rural schools in El Salvador once you get outside the main cities. And one of the first things I noticed is that at dismissal time, first of all, the kids are in uniform, which is really cool. Like, they all have uniforms. Everybody goes to school.
Like child soldiers?
No. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Like, happy family is like, all our kids go to school. Google Classroom and everyone on tablets, by the way.
Nice.
All the schools are connected. Super techy. It just surprised me. But at dismissal time, you'll see schoolgirls, like young, like, and, you know, I've got 2 girls, so I'm sensitive to this. Right? So these young ladies, 8 to 12-year-old maybe, walking home from school along the side of the road, like a highway, like walking down 119. They do have like sidewalks or a median, so it's safe on the walk.
Right.
But unattended. Walking home from school could be 1 kilometer or 2. No fear whatsoever. Because crime has went to 0. Because Bukele took that stance that we're not going to take any of this shit. There was a region in the southwest of the country where the citizens were complaining, hey, the gangs are forming up here, and we got 2 days before the RNC, right?
Right. Yeah. So what is your thoughts on, I gotta know, what is your thoughts on that? Yeah. I mean, first off, should he have been even charged, number one? So when have we started punishing our kings and queens or our presidents for crimes like this? I mean, imagine what's going to happen if the Republicans take over. Are we going to now have the Republicans putting, like, when Clinton got impeached? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Ken Starr didn't do a great job, but it never really went anywhere. It happened, but, you know what I'm saying, it kind of died. Now we're starting to have mug shots of our former presidents. What's your take on that?
It's a sad state of affairs, man. What comes to mind is Russia, Soviet Union in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
The Stalin and, I think the Trotskys was the first group of folks that he politically, tried and then sentenced. It's total bullshit. Like, you can't, first of all, whether he did or not, who knows? Not relevant. I mean, I'm not a legal expert, obviously. But from what I've read, it sounds like there was an accounting error that, his attorneys and his folks were working on, and, that they paid her for whatever they paid her for. Even if he paid her to shut up about something or to buy a story to suppress it, whether it was true or not, they didn't want the negative press.
Right.
How do you get 34 felonies out of that?
I have no clue. I'm still trying to figure that out.
That'd be like if you catch some asshole for shoplifting and you charge him with 100 felonies. Well, he's stolen coke. Like,
right.
How did this even happen? Like,
right, 34 felonies.
Right, and it's just like the last trial where they ordered to pay some outrageous sum of money, $500 million.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they got appealed and went to the federal level, guess what? They got overturned.
Exactly.
So the fact that folks can hack our courts so that these type of things can happen, so that some unscrupulous individuals could have that level of impact over the court system is scary.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not something I ever thought I would see in the U.S. It's wild. The court should be above that shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, you mentioned, with Stalin and stuff, 1930s and 40s, like we just got the RPD, and I call it the Russian People Destroyer, which the belt-fed predates the AK-47 because it was developed in 1943. But you see how Stalin and now those using, warlords and dictators love that gun because it fills up mass graves of dissidents and despots. So I mean, yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. And I think that the more this continues to happen, it's priming the pump.
Well, it can't happen. It can't continue because what's going to happen if the Dems did it first and now the Republicans are pissed and the Republicans get in office, guess what they're going to do?
Same thing.
They're going to exact revenge.
Yep.
I mean, I don't blame them.
I don't either.
But it's almost like a foregone conclusion that's just going to escalate.
We've noticed a high rate of gun sales and body armor, first aid kits, even like food, prep food, stuff like that. Because of that, are you noticing anything in the crypto market where people are shifting? Like the dollar value has lost value because of body. Oh. Like think about $1,000 only buys about $680 worth of stuff now.
Yeah. So if you look at it from the onset, right? So 1914 to now, the dollar's lost like 98, 99% of its original value.
Yeah.
And our national debt is so vast that our interest payments top $1 trillion now. Right? We've already passed financially. We've passed the point of no return.
Yeah.
Like you can't. There's like mathematically. I'm not not a doomsayer, but mathematically, just statistically speaking, you can't unfuck this situation now.
Right.
It's too far gone. It's so far beyond our GDP. And the debt is so vast that we'll never pay it off. It'll only get worse and continue to grow until it collapses the economy.
And that's why I named my dog Crypto, because obviously, I'm like you, I invest in crypto myself as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's sound money.
Oh yeah.
It prevents the unlimited printing of money. For example, if the world were on a Bitcoin standard like El Salvador, you can't print unlimited money to fund these wars that we shouldn't be involved in anyway. If you fix the money, you fix the world. And there's going to be a lot of resistance to fixing the money because there's a lot of profiteers out there in the military-industrial complex. These governments like in the EU and sadly in the U.S., that rely on, the profits they can extract from this process, from the cycle of endless war. That's it's going to get ugly.
Oh, definitely. So what? Two more questions. Then I know we got to wrap it up. What do you think is going to happen with this election? You think about it, if we went to a ledger system where, like the Bitcoin for voting, would that not be the best way to do it where you can't cheat the system?
Yeah, absolutely. And we had the technology years ago to do this, by the way. You could issue every citizen a unique wallet ID. Just like everybody
Okay.
Exact same style of system. But in that, in your digital ID, would be your vote. And once you cast your vote with that secure ID, maybe it's blue and it turns red or it turns green and you voted and whatever, now you're done. You can't vote again. It's done. You had to be there to authenticate it. You voted, now it's done. How do you do it online? You wouldn't even have to do it. You wouldn't even have to go to vote. You can process this all automatically. It can all be saved in the blockchain where it's, fully transparent, fully visible, and uncorruptible. But we don't want to do that.
I wonder why Dominion Systems hasn't done that yet.
Oh yeah,
Good question, right?
Well, they're trash, and they're easily hackable, as we found out in Arizona, which everybody said that was a conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah.
And then they found these voting systems that had dual boot hard drives and internet access, and they weren't supposed to have any of that. And
scary times ahead.
Yeah, it for sure it is. That's Bitcoin's only going to go north. I think that we'll see probably 118 to 124K this year, and then it'll continue its rally.
So it's a good sound investment. So try getting into it now.
In my opinion, yes. Not financial advice, but I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And quick for a two-way message here. I know you're an avid hunter. You like to hunt deer.
Yeah.
What is your favorite weapon to use? Either, and we'll go for the three of them, for self-defense, for hunting, and for home protection.
Okay. Start with hunting. I've got two in a modern sporting rifle. I like the AR-10.
Nice.
They use a smaller magazine, obviously, because use those standards makes the weapon way too heavy.
The ergonomics is just not there.
No, but with the trimmed down mag, I love the 308, great round, and I've been carrying that. Actually, I love it from you.
Yes.
So I've been using that for the last 5 or 6 years, but I get quite a bit.
Awesome.
And then on the legacy firearm for hunting, I think the 35 or the 30-30, both.
I like the 30-30.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, the 35 I like just because it's a little bit better brush gun, a little bit more knockdown power, a little oomph.
Yeah, the 30-30 is just like a staple.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right.
Everybody knows 30-30.
Yep. Personal protection, I like the 40 cal, carry a 40 cal Walther, one of my favorites, P990.
Cool.
Love it, great gun. Shoots straight, never jams, just legend of a weapon.
Nice.
And then I guess, for home defense, this is a tough one. I'm a huge 1911 advocate.
Oh yeah.
I love that frame. I love the round. I love the way that the energy transfers.
45 ACT, baby.
There's really nothing superior, but I do like the Sega 12 gauge.
Sega 12 is
when you absolutely, positively have to kill
everyone in the room. Single substance. That's right. Thermal ballistics, and this is going back to Clint. Pistols put holes in people, rifles put holes through people,
right.
Shotguns at the right range with the light road will remove body parts.
For sure. Yeah. So
yes, definitely a shotgun for home defense is a good choice.
Yeah. So I keep the 45 near me, at the house. That's my personal defense, but that's just, make sure that I can get to the 12 gauge.
There you go. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to add or any other questions you got for me?
No, I don't think so. I'm just, I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing, and we've got so many folks that are out here supporting the Second Amendment and the what we'll call traditional American values, trying to get us back on track. But it's a long road. I do want to take a second to say to make sure the most contentious race, other than the presidential election this year, the most contentious race across the country is going to be the North Carolina governor's race.
Oh, absolutely. Mark Robinson.
Yep. So if you're not supporting Mark Robinson, you probably want to check that thought process because he's the man for the job.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big proponent of Mark Robinson. I met him when I was running for county commissioner.
Yep. Mark's a great guy.
Very nice guy. Awesome dude. I talked to him about 5-10 minutes. He's really down there. I like what he did in Greensboro. Yep. That's how he became famous. It was like he went down with no script, no nothing, just laid it all out there.
Yes, I remember it very well.
Yep.
We bought the T-shirts.
Yeah, that's right. We did. That's right. All right. So that will wrap up this episode of the Smoking Gun Show by Rad Industries and Rad Range Training Event Center, produced by Carolina Ballistics Training and Events. If you have any questions, you can reach us at radrange.com and radindustries.com. We look forward to seeing one out here. In our next episode, we will probably have the next 1 or 2 episodes the 2 strong trainers, and get them on here and give you some information about that. Followed by some more 2A news coming next month. Look forward to seeing everybody then. Have a good one.